Welcome back to Casady, your Ford game of the week here on the Cox Channel. Holland Hall's girls beat the Cyclone ladies 42-21. Welcome back, Mike Wolf and Steve Marshall, along with Peter Huestis, the director of upper division here at Casady. And I know we've got an athletic event going on here tonight, but academics so important as you prepare these kids for the next level in the classroom.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I really love about Casady School is the fact that, in the truest sense of the phrase, we're a college prep school. When you look at our academics, the curriculum itself, the academic schedule the kids face each day, certainly the opportunities they have on campus, whether it be athletics, clubs, recreation opportunities, it very much simulates what they're going to see at the next level. So they're really ready.
We see a number of the universities, obviously, that you guys, I guess, are essentially a feeder school for, and it's a who's who of the colleges and the academic schools across the country.
You know, we're real proud of that list for obvious reasons. There's some great schools there, but more than trying to get kids into a certain list of schools, we're about getting kids ready to succeed when they arrive there. And again, that's why we structure everything we do around a college prep curriculum, because while it's important to get kids into school, that's obviously one of the goals, one of the end goals of parents and why they send kids here to Casady School, it's much more than that. And we really focus on finding a good fit for these kids to make sure that when they get to college, they're going to be successful.
Let's talk about some of that structure, Peter, when you talk about the class schedules and some of the classes that are offered for them to prepare for college.
We offer an incredibly wide array of classes for these kids, whether it's in the fine arts, the studio arts, the performing arts, certainly the core academic schedules themselves. We've got 4 different foreign languages, including Mandarin Chinese, which is pretty rare in this part of the country. So the breadth of opportunities these kids have is incredible. But it's not just the number of courses they can take, it's the depth which we can go into with these kids that really gets them ready for that next level and sets us apart.
And it's not always what is done in the classroom, but it's also what's done in the community as well. Speak to that.
Absolutely. We've got an incredible service learning program here at Casady as well. What we do is try to make sure that the kids understand that there is much more to their world than what's here inside these gates at Casady School. Just 2 weeks ago, for instance, we spent an entire day with Habitat for Humanity helping build a home, and I think that's the type of thing that really opens the eyes for these kids and sees that there's more out there.
As I look out at the players right now warming up, they have a Water for Hope. Talk to us about that and what that program is.
You know, that's an incredible example of what we're doing here on campus. Josh Bottomley, who is our head men's basketball coach, and you'll see obviously on the screen here tonight a lot, he teaches an English class here on campus as well, in addition to being the head college counselor. So he's got a lot of different hats. But one of the things Josh brought to campus this year through the curriculum in his English class was the opportunity for these kids to understand that there's a lot more going on in our world. And they are connected to a town in Africa that does not have any clean water, literally has no clean water. And through the efforts of these kids in their English class, and it's now expanded to opportunities here at games and out in the community, our goal with just this one English class is to raise $20,000, which will provide a town in Africa with a well that will provide them, therefore, with clean water for years and years to come.
And what so is that's about $5? If you donate $5, that'll feed, or not feed, but give someone 5 years worth of water?
My understanding is $1 is worth 1 year of clean water in Africa. So the impact that $20,000 can have is it's really hard for us to fathom.
When we talk about the academic side and then you talk about those community affairs that the students are involved in, they're really getting that well-rounded education that you want them to leave here with.
They really are. There's so much to learn about our world that goes way beyond the textbook. And of course, the core curriculum is important. I'm not trying to dismiss that at all, but there's just so much more going on that our kids get exposure to here on campus, and we do that very purposely.
You can have all types of programs, but of course you also have to have great instructors and faculty and support personnel that make it all possible.
Absolutely. That's where it starts. That's where it starts. You can have the greatest curriculum in the world, but if you don't have the right people in the classroom to deliver it, it's going to be very ineffective. And we here at Casady are very proud of who we have on campus doing that. It's an incredible experience for me to walk around campus and to watch the relationships that are being built on this campus. And when you look at the student-teacher ratio we have on campus, that's a huge advantage, of course, over a bigger school.
8 to 1 is what I read.
It's 8 to 1, and that's again hard for anybody to imagine.
It's almost like having your own personal tutor.
It really is. It really is. It's awesome. An incredible experience for these kids.
You mentioned Mandarin Chinese as one of the foreign languages offered. How often do you go back and look at things and try to expand that curriculum even further?
Every day. We literally are under that process every single day. And that comes from feedback from the kids, from the parents, from the faculty. Of course, we're living in a world now that is constantly evolving as far as the global economy goes. So one of the challenges here at Casady that we are certainly up to is taking the incredible tradition and history that is Casady School and matching it with 21st century skills and 21st century methodology in the classroom, because the kids that we are teaching each and every day are 21st century kids that are going to be leaders in this global economy that is hard for us to imagine what it's going to be like even 5 years from now. So we are constantly under that auspice of trying to make things better and improve them and understand better what the world's going to be like for these kids and then get them ready for it.
World's a much smaller place than it was when we went to high school.
Well, you know, it's smaller and it's bigger. It's both. It's smaller because of the access you have, but it's bigger because now, when I was in high school, when I did a group project, I did it with the guy beside me. Now you can do group projects with folks in China over the internet. Yeah. So it kind of works both ways.
Well, Peter, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, guys.
All right, Peter Huestis. So we're going to take a time out. The boys' game coming up here in just a few minutes. You're watching the Ford Game of the Week right here on the Cox Channel.